Hey guys, welcome back to Candid Cinema. I'm Amanda, otherwise known as AMX NJ Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Today I will be reviewing Ridley Scott's new film, The Last Duel. Quick shout out to Disney and 20th Century Studios for giving me the opportunity to watch this last week. I had very low expectations going into this. The trailers looked really good, but I was blown away by these performances alone in this movie. So we do have Damon and Affleck back together on screen, but they also co-wrote this with Nicole Holofcener, and this is actually a book adaptation as well. So we know how hard it is to bring a book to the screen, but I think that the way Ridley Scott constructed this film worked incredibly well for this particular story. The story does take place in the late 1300s, and Marguerite de Carouge suffered some traumatic events. She did get raped by her husband's best friend. We have these three characters, and Ridley Scott explores their own truth. When I say that it's important to address these three different angles to the story in this particular way, I mean from the perspective of Marguerite de Carouge, because her presence is felt in each of these stories, in each of these angles. She has the emotional weight that brings a different side to this story, different side to the truth. And I think that's what's really important here when we watch Jodie Comer in every single scene that she just steals from Matt Damon, Adam Driver, and Ben Affleck. She is a force to be reckoned with in this movie. It is beyond traumatizing what happened to her, and you feel it. You feel that something is completely off before that said event eventually happens. So because it is a disjointed narrative, you do see little bits and pieces that Ridley slowly reveals through this editing in this three-part structure that I really, really loved. It's different chapters for different characters, and you get to explore the depth, the backstory of these characters and where they are in their life as individuals, as couples, or as a council member in the kingdom. It's just really interesting to see how well-rounded these characters become by the big finale at the end. So I think that Ridley Scott did an incredible job with that. So we do have Jean de Carouge, who is Matt Damon. He's fighting for his family's honor. That's all he's ever won. He's very noble. He's honorable. He fights for what's right for the little person. He tries to make a name for himself after, he's treated in such a different way, but it's a different perspective. So what I did write in my review is that we can perceive others in many different ways, but we do not know how others perceive us. And I think that's what's really eye-opening about The Last Duel, where I could be having a conversation with someone and they could be taking the conversation a completely different way, and vice versa. So it's just really interesting how Ridley Scott placed that lens, and you can explore that side of someone's perception of the other. And I think that's what is the important takeaway in the three chapters that he presents. So Adam Driver has a different perception of who he is, and then Marguerite de Carouge, who is Jodie Comer, looks at him at a different way. Matt Damon and Jean de Carouge looks at him at a different way, and so does Ben Affleck as the king, which is obviously Adam Driver as a squire. So it makes complete sense that everyone has a different perception of Adam Driver, except for the women. All the women in the court know who he is and what he does, and that carries weight in Marguerite's story as well. So it's just so well done. It's crafted in a way that will make you clue into certain situations and conversations in a different way. And I don't even know how Ridley Scott did this, but it was just so interesting to watch. If you put the story aside and we talk about the technical aspects, we talk about the script and the editing and all of that, it just comes together so nicely. The story is definitely powerful. It's very emotional. It's really, really tough to watch because we have to see that scene with Jodie Comer twice. We have to see it twice, and that's why it's really hard to watch it The first time that it does happen to Marguerite de Carouge, it's in one perspective. The second time that we see it from a different perspective again. So it's really hard to sit there because there's different ways to look at it. And again, like I said, that it's all about the perspective. It's the perception of the people that you have these conversations with, the dialogue. There's little clues and pieces that are patched together within the 3 chapters, and we see different angles. So I just think that this is a great structure for this particular story and trying to get the truth out of people, because the truth is so, so important. And these performances, top notch. All of them, everyone put on a clinic in The Last Duel. Jodie Comer was flawless. Matt Damon literally has never been this good in recent years. Legit, he's had some difficulties finding his footing and picking some movies, but this was like, when I mean perfect casting, Ben Affleck, with the little screen time he had, really nailed it as the king. It was just such a strong performance from him, and it was memorable. Everyone was making fun of like the hair and makeup beforehand, because why are you putting him in a blonde wig? And it just didn't work. But he carried it so well and embodied this role. I think Ben Affleck did a great job. He's a clear standout in this. Then lastly, Adam Driver. I don't even have words for this man anymore, because he has picked such fantastic characters to display his range in recent years. And it has been a wonderful ride to just watch him on this journey. This character was just next level. Nothing like he's done in previous films. This is just completely different, and it was fantastic work on his part. The chemistry that they all had with each other, and they bounced off of each other quite well. There were some moments where I completely got lost in the dialogue. I got completely lost in the character interactions, because that's how good these performances were. The performances alone will keep you interested until the very end. The script is very well written. I think all 3 of them did a great job. And lastly, the structure of this film, like I said before, really just packs a punch and gets to the point of the truth. So you have such great aspects in this film that make it such a great watch. It's a powerful watch. It's an important watch. It's so important. And Marguerite de Carouge's story, in a time where women would not speak up about rape or assault or any of that, or being mistreated, abused, you have one woman that just defies everyone and says that she will not be silenced, and she opens her mouth and she fights for it, and she has a husband who will help her fight for it. It's the fact that in that time period, this is an actual story. This is based on a true story. So in that time period, to have a woman just step forward and have that conversation and have some really awkward conversations with men in council who just don't understand the woman's perspective. I just thought it was just really well written and crafted and adapted. And I just think that the story is really important. And we are going to have a solid conversation after everyone watches The Last Duel. And again, that is a good thing. That's a healthy thing. We're going to have these conversations, and that is the point of this film being made, because we need to have these conversations. So I really, really did not expect to like The Last Duel as much as I did. It is a very tough watch. If you do not do well with that kind of subject matter, then I would definitely stay away from it. It's very tough. There are some shots in this movie that I will never forget, especially that final shot of Jodie Comer. So if you guys love Ridley Scott, you love Matt Damon, you love Ben Affleck, you love Adam Driver, and you love the flawless Jodie Comer, please check out The Last Duel. It is an important watch. If you guys enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe. You can always find me over at AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Keep watching movies, guys. I'll catch you next time.